Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly live stream of prayer. I am Bishop Megan Rohrer, and if you would like to lift up prayers publicly, you can put them in the comments below. If you would like your prayers to remain private, send them through private message. Take a second, calm your hearts, calm your minds, and prepare your Today, I pray for all of the leaders of the church, and we start with those who are the least appreciated up to those who have high ranking offices and positions and religious outfits and uniforms that they wear. So, first, we give thanks to those who clean up, those with children who squawk and gaggle in the back of the space, those who wonder if they're welcome at all. We give thanks for those who work on bulletins and clean bathrooms, those who work as treasurers and church council members. We pray for those who are deans and deacons of the lay variety and the ordained variety. We pray for deaconesses and pastors. We pray for those who work in synod offices. We pray for bishops. We pray for those who work at church-wide, those who work globally, and those who are our ecumenical partners. We pray for all who help to orient our faith and those who have been a part of the cloud of witnesses from the past who have inspired us and brought us this far by faith. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. I pray today for all who are weary, all who are sick and tired of COVID, all who are ready for the world to feel a bit more joyful, those who are tired of snark, those who are interested in positivity, taking over the world in palpable ways that lead to abundance and hope and life and promises of better days ahead. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. I pray for those who long for more companionship, those who are seeking help, those who are interested in mental support and wellness care, those who are seeking therapy and social workers, those who are working with friends and neighbors to be the best that they can, those who care about ethics, those who are teaching others to be the best they can, those who write poetry and make art and dream dreams and help with visions, those who raise the funding for things like this, and particularly those who help cities run smoothly, who help decrease bias in institutions, and those who are actively seeking to try to be their best in a public world that often has little tolerance for mistakes. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. I pray today especially for all who are interested in growing their faith, those who are learning to pray, those who are discerning and learning through the catechism if they want to be members of new congregations. We pray for the AV tech crews and all who make live streams of worship happen so that the good news can be heard far beyond the traditional walls of congregations and sanctuaries and places where ministry is often thought to take place. God, be in the streets. Be abundant in our world. Be with us when we are at work and at play, when we're zoning out and zoning in. Be with us and work through us and help us move ever towards your call for our lives. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray today that you will bring health in abundance, that you will help us to stay as healthy as possible, as long as possible, to do the daily things that we ought to do in order to be our best. Help us eat healthier food than yesterday. Help us to be people who are moving and active to our greatest capacity. Help us to be people who are aware of the ways other people's bodies might differ from ours, to give them space for consent and ways to be among us that are affirming of their hearts and their minds and their bodies. God, help us to be as loving as possible and to value being present over contributing in ways that only lead to financial gain. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray today for those who have been hurt or harmed or burdened in any sort of way. We ask that those who are struggling with ways that they can let down the slings and arrows of the past can find ways that lead towards forgiveness, hope for tomorrow, reparations when needed, truth and reconciliation work, and all the things that it takes for us to untangle the many ways that we have lamented in the ways that we have gathered together. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. I pray today for trees and for birds, for animals of all kinds, those that fly and those that swim, those that crawl upon the earth, those that are helping our ecosystems to be lively, who are recycling organic materials deep under the earth without our even knowing that it happens, those that are helping to just be beautiful. And all of the ways that the whales in the ocean and the songbirds help to uplift us and remind us that we are but a speck in the midst of a large cosmos that is good beyond our knowing. God, be with us in our interactions with creation. Help us to be as just as possible, to preserve as much of the sacred creation as we can, and to decrease the impact of our footprints on this planet. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. God, bring abundance to those who need it, especially for those who are looking to get out of debt, or those who are having a hard time feeling like they can have the food, the safety, and the security that they need to be protected and cared for in this world. Help all who need them to have proper and safe shelters. Help all who are interested to have homes that are secure and loving and kind and safe. Be with those who are helping to support others, particularly those food pantries that are giving out meals, those who are seeking to fill out paperwork for those in need of reorienting their lives and navigating systems of protection that sometimes have more paperwork than human beings have patience. Be with those who care for veterans. Be with those who care for all who have been injured in community endeavors, particularly those that cause moral injury. Provide care for first responders and help us to be people who are able and willing to care for our neighbors and to help out as often as we can. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray today in hopes that you will bring love and support and kindness and compassion and make it possible for all people who want agency to be able to self-identify, to have safe spaces, to be valued for their contribution and their efforts and their love in this world, and to be full of all the hope and the promises that you bring. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. God, be with us in our confusion and our bewilderment when we're walking the wrong direction. Help reorient us towards your path. Help us to be a part of what you are up to in this world. And help us to live lives abundantly, enthusiastically supporting what you are up to. Amen. For all who are gathered here to pray, I hope that you will lift up your cares and concerns and your thoughts and your prayers, and that we can pray them together. Please pray for me as I will continue praying for you. Take care.